Mm, I just woke up from a nap, so I'm already not at a good start, but it's fine. Alright, day 5, Truvada, which, I don't want to say might be my last video for doing this until after the month is over, because I'm supposed to be, there's no really big changes. Like, I feel like I like a rash, but I think it might be a little bit better. I don't think so. Can you see anything? No, neither can I. Whatever. I don't think I have a rash. I think I'm just always itchy. But anyway, crap, I had 2 random things that I wanted to say on here before I got to my topic for the day. And now I can't remember them. But day 5. Truvada. Really quick. Because I've been working overnight, and it's like really killing me. I was supposed to wake up at 12:30. I had an alarm set. I just woke up and it's like 4:30. It's 4:30 right now. I can't keep doing that. Like, I can't. This overnight shit is no joke. But the topic I want to talk about today. Girl, that was good. Oh my god. So, it is one of my least favorite episodes of Femme Nikita, and why. Now, this is not just about me talking about, my show, so that everyone can hear it. It's really important to me. Women's rights and women empowerment and, just women, just having respect for women is very important to me. Okay? So, that episode kind of pissed me off, which kind of goes into the second episode too. The next episode after that, which also pissed me off, which I'll talk briefly about that in a moment. But have you heard of r slash that happened? It literally has like a eye rolling emoji with r slash that happened. No, I'm a very, very new to Reddit. I've heard of it, but I just finally downloaded it and read some of the sub forums. But it's basically, what for those of you who don't know what it is, it's basically a forum that talks about things that really never happened, and from a YouTube channel, Shoe on Head, and this other guy joining, which I think you guys should definitely go check out and subscribe to them. They are really awesome. If you like talking about like internet stuff, but I can't really explain it. But anyways, they're really good. Check them out. Because they talk about BuzzFeed and they talk about, SJWs and all that type of stuff. They're really good. But why it pissed me off, what r slash that happened talks about is situations about current events and current social issues and a confrontation that will never happen, like ever, like ever. So, for an example, I had to do better at examples. There was this mom who walked in with 2 kids. So from there, let's just say that makes sense. Okay, you could probably assume that these kids are her mother, right? Right? But there's this mom that walked into this establishment with her 2 kids, and the establishment was like a homeopathic store. Okay? Homeopathic, all right? So we're good so far. And an employee looks at them and says, "Oh, the anti-vaxxers are here. Oh my God." Now, first of all, there are plenty of people who are anti-vaxxers who who use homeopathic who don't use homeopathic at all. And there are those who do use it. And there are plenty of people who are vaccinators who also use homeopathic treatments. For instance, I don't mind. I don't know. I wouldn't say that because I haven't had a vaccination in so long, especially the flu. But I also am like into homeopathic remedies and stuff like that. But I also know I also know two vegans, very strong, political vegans, health vegans, like all the way through. Because there are several types of vegans. We're not getting into that, but who are also give me the vaccinations and give me all kind of medicines. I don't care what kind of animal hormones are in it. I just want to make sure that my body, my main point of being vegan is being healthy, and that's what I want to do is be healthy. So. And I never knock them. I'm not a very judgmental person anyway. I'm not the best of vegans, and I'm also not the worst. I mean, I would honestly associate myself more with plant-based diet, me personally. But like, I do care for animals, and I don't like how the treatment of them are. But like my friends, I would probably, if there was a medicine that had animal hormones in it, I don't think I'm going to be like, no, it has animals in it. I don't think I'll be like that extreme. Me personally, if you are, then good for you. But anyway, that's not the point of this video. Point of this video is there is no safe way to assume that this family, sorry guys, that this family is anti-vaxxers. And so not only did they assume that this family was anti-vaxxers, but this 12-year-old and this 5-year-old dogged, like completely roast, basically just humiliate and insult this employee about her calling them anti-vaxxers. And I'm not saying that kids are not smart and say the darndest things, but first of all, mind your business, stay in a child's place. And even if you do not have any home training, why would you be so well versed as a child about vaccinations to go into a toe-to-toe conversation with an adult? You know what I'm saying? First of all. Second of all, why would an employee who welcomes all types of people into her establishment so she can get business insult a family who could potentially walk the hell out of the store and then you just lost your business? Homeopathic stores are not like the best place to go to. You know what I'm saying? Like they're like dive bars. Yeah, there are people who go to dive bar, but they're not like, mainstream bars that everybody wants to go to. You know what I mean? So like they're not gonna just like they have the ability to turn away any types of service if they want to. But to assume that they're anti-vaxxers and to insult your own employees is just dumb. That would never happen. And then to finish the story, the whole establishment got silent. And then there were slow clappers. And then the whole store was clapping. And that employee was just looking red in the face. Really? Really, bitch? So, what this has to do with Femme Nikita? Femme Nikita is a show about espionage. So she is this homeless person who gets kidnapped. Now, first of all, let me rephrase that. She's this homeless person who got framed for killing a cop. And they saw her report, and they kidnapped her, faked her death, and trained her for 2 years to be a spy. Okay? Trained her for 2 years, so she never got into mission on the field or anything like that until she was fully trained. So this isn't like working at a job and you get like 2 weeks of training and you have no idea what the hell to do with this job. You've been trained for 2 years. Room and board, fed, and all of that. So you could be a highly elite spy. Okay? So this particular episode in season 1, I can't remember the exact what number the episode was, but in season 1 there was this episode about domestic violence, okay? And I think it's straight up bullshit. Now, I'm not saying that domestic violence doesn't happen, but at the end of the show, it got really dumb. Really dumb. So they had to get a certain book from this opposing assassin who was just going off assassinating like random people. He had information on other assassins and networks and stuff like that he wasn't supposed to have. So first of all, the fact that he had that book is a pretty good feat. He probably had to go through some shit to get that book, okay? But he's a pretty well known assassin, okay? Which means he also had to been pretty highly trained. You're not just gonna grab somebody off the street and go throw them into the field. Okay? They've done that. There was an episode where they've done that, and it almost blew up in their faces. So, obviously, this well known assassin has been trained. Okay? So, at the end of the episode, where, they're trying to save the wife from him, Nikita puts out her gun and they get into a fist fight. No, I'm sorry. She just wally-wops his ass. This well-trained assassin just beats his ass completely. And what I did like about the episode is how the wife almost killed herself because she got tricked by one of the main character's guys. She gets tricked by him to get information so they can get close to him, close to her wife. I mean, close to her husband. And so not only was the affair fake, but her husband was controlling and abused her. And she thought she was going to live into a better world, and now she has nothing. Okay? Nothing. So she tried to kill her. So that makes sense because you can't really save the hoe from her captain. You can't. You have to save the hoe from herself. Okay? So not to say that she's a hoe. It's more just like a figure of speech that I just made up. But you can't just take a woman out of her relationship. If she doesn't believe she needs to be out of it, then she's not going to get out of it, even if she's not in it. She's going to go to the next guy who's going to abuse her, or she's just going to be lost and trying to find anybody who's going to protect her because she needs special counseling. You know what I'm saying? So that actually made sense. That made sense. But what I didn't like is like everybody's like, woo, cheering on her to beat his ass or whatever. And I feel like there should have been more of a fight. Not only was this guy twice her size, twice in every shape, tall, height, weight, but he was a highly trained assassin. So there should have been a good fight. Yeah, maybe she should have. Yeah, of course she should have beat his ass. She's the main character. This is a female lead role. So I'm not saying that, but there should have been a fight instead of him just sitting there taking an ass whooping. You know what I mean? That means like there's on some level he knew he deserved that ass whooping or something like that, which that was not apparent. He was a jackass all the way through. There should have been more of a fight, a real fight between two assassins. And it was just like a bunch of bullshit. But I guess there's a lot of plot holes in the late 90s, early 2000s show because of the previous episode, which I'm not going to get into great detail. This nerd gets into some trouble when he has to go outside of his comfort zone and use a gun. Here, this kid has been in section for a year, been an assassin or a help to assassin because he's been working with the computers. But he's been in this organization for years and has not learned how to use a gun. And then within a couple days in the show, now he's a master of shooting guns. Bullshit. Bull. So they have plot holes like this all the time. But my main point about, the domestic violence, that this should have been a little bit more believable this is still a spy show. So, yes, this lead female role, she's putting her feminine energy on something that's supposed to be highly masculine all the time, and she has a feminine twist on it. She knows when to be feminine, and she knows when to be masculine. She's comfortable doing both, and when she's in her natural normal state, she's a feminine woman, and there's nothing wrong with being a feminine woman. You know what I mean? That's just who she is. She's a feminine woman, very chipper, and she can even be ditzy if she wants to. And then when it's come down to it, she can still put her feminine energy, hey, there needs to be more nurturing in this type of situation, or she can be more masculine. There needs to be more straightforward, boom, logic, and you know what I'm saying? She can do both as a feminine female. So for this show to be emphasizing being a feminine woman, I don't think that fight was believable. There could have been a better thing about it. Yes, and I understand this is like an early 2000s, late 90s show, but I see that a lot in a lot of television today, where it's just not believable. It's like, let's be real. Yeah, they can. If you want her to beat this guy's ass, sure. I'm not saying that they can't, but make it believable. This guy is supposed to be a highly trained assassin. Let's make that apparent. Otherwise, why didn't you just beat his ass in the first place and then just have him what you call it, just have him tortured? If it was just that easy, y'all went through all of this bullshit to get to her, breaking her heart, making her suicidal, just to get to him for no reason. You could just beat his ass a long ass time ago. Why do we go through all these hoops and ladders for what? Anyway, that's my little thing. Let's just women, you are very strong. You are very strong, especially in your own right, in your own way. There are plenty of women who can whoop a man's ass, but there are a lot of women who can't, and they're stronger in other assets. We are not equal. We are balanced. We are balanced. There are not even some things. There are things that men can do that women can. There are things women can do that women can. We need to learn to work together and highlight our weaknesses and uplift our strengths together instead of trying to just try to be equal, because we're not. We are not. We are balanced. There's a difference. We're supposed to balance each other out instead of fighting to see who's more empowered, instead of fighting to see how equal we are when we're not. We are balanced creatures. We're supposed to work together in an interdependent, not dependent to independent. Not those two are in their own category when it comes to being interdependent. Interdependent, we work good by ourselves, but we work amazingly together. Let's be more interdependent, people. Work together. Let's work on our weaknesses together and uplift our strengths. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Anyways, have a great day. Please take care of your mental health. It's very important. Very important to me and very important to you. It should be very important to you. And if it's not, definitely talk to somebody about that, because it's just as important as your emotional state and your physical state. Sometimes, if not more. So take care of yourself. Love you guys.